Sealing your criminal record, court costs, fines, and restitution. You have decided to pursue sealing your criminal record. This video will help you understand the court costs, fines, and restitution associated with sealing your criminal record. If you have been convicted of a felony, Ohio law is very clear that the following felonies can never be sealed, even if it is your only conviction. If you can answer yes to any of these questions, your record is not eligible for sealing. Do you have any first or second degree felony convictions? Did your offense have a mandatory prison term? Were you convicted of an offense of violence that was a misdemeanor of the first degree or a felony? For a complete list of felonies that are not eligible for sealing, go to the link that appears on your screen. If your felony record does not fall into any of those categories, there is a 3-year waiting period from the final discharge of your felony conviction. There is a 1-year waiting period from the final discharge of a misdemeanor conviction. Waiting periods are mandatory to seal both felony and misdemeanor convictions. The waiting period does not necessarily start once you are released from jail or prison, or when your probation ends. Even if you have been out of jail or off probation for 3 years, your waiting period may not be over if you still owe fines as a result of your conviction. A conviction isn't considered fully discharged if you still owe fines or restitution. For example, if you were sentenced to pay a fine of $500, then the waiting period does not begin until that fine is paid. That's why it is important to pay your fines as soon as possible. Owing fines will prevent you from beginning your waiting period to get your record sealed. The same rule applies for restitution. Restitution is money that is owed to other people the court has ordered you to pay. For example, if the court ordered you to pay money to a person whose property you damaged, the money that you owe that person is called restitution. Just like a fine, your waiting period cannot start until you have paid all restitution the court ordered. Court costs, on the other hand, do not affect your waiting period. Even if a judge has ordered you to pay court costs, your waiting period can begin immediately without payment. It would be in your best interest to pay off your fines and restitution before you pay off your court costs so that you begin the waiting period sooner. This will help you to apply to have your record sealed in a more timely manner. We are not suggesting you ignore your court costs. The judge ultimately has discretion to determine whether to grant your request to have your record sealed. If you still have unpaid court costs, the judge may be less likely to grant your request. Best not to ask to have your record sealed before you pay court costs, but it will not affect your wait period. So remember, even if the 3 years have passed since your felony conviction or the 1 year for a misdemeanor, your waiting period does not begin until after all fines and restitution are paid in full. But even if your court costs are not paid, this will not affect your waiting period. The judge has the final decision to seal your records, so it's always a good idea to pay the court costs. We hope this video helped you understand how fines, restitution, and court costs can impact waiting periods for sealing your criminal record.